That was terrible. We're going to try that again. How we all doing today? All right, guys. We want to thank everyone for coming out to the North Carolina Mountain State Fair. On behalf of Scales, Tails, and Teeth, I want to thank you all for having us here. This is our first time here at your guys' event, so we do appreciate that. My name is Jimmy. I am going to be doing your narration, but also your alligator demonstration for you towards the end of the show. And then over here in the black shirt, this is my dad, George. If we can all say, hi, George.
Hi, George.
Everyone say goodbye, George.
Goodbye, George.
That's just in case you don't make it, okay? You are the closest to the alligator. That's why I did that. Now, guys, we will goof off, have a good time, but what you're going to see today is dangerous, all right? So if you do see anything go wrong, all that I ask is that you guys take a lot of pictures, okay? That's it. Do not jump in and try to help me unless I ask for it, all right? So what you're going to see today is an alligator capture show towards the end of the show, and we're going to explain a little bit about that in just a bit. But what we are going to start off with is a small reptile show. All right, we're going to start the show off a little slower, and we're going to show you some different type of turtles. Now, we start off with different turtles because the kids do love to see them, and so do the older kids tend to enjoy them. Now, the first turtle we're going to take out is a turtle that can be found here in both states, your guys and mine, called a yellow belly slider. Now, the yellow belly slider that you're looking at is not full grown. They have the potential of getting up to about the size of a football. All right, this one that you're looking at is about 8 to 10 years old, and they will live roughly about 50 years in captivity, give or take. Now, they get their name, the yellow belly slider, because two reasons. Of course, can you guess it? The belly is yellow, all right? The second part is that they got called a slider because when they're laying on a rock or a log and they get startled, they slide real quick into the water. So that's why they gave them their name. Now, we do get a lot of different questions about these animals. The most common we get with this particular turtle, how can you tell if it's a boy or a girl? Can you tell by just looking at the turtle? Yes, there is a way you can tell, and it's not by the pretty colors. All right, the pretty colors does not mean it's a female. All right, the only way you can tell if it's a boy or girl is by the front feet of the turtle, by their fingernails. Male water turtles are going to have really long fingernails. Female water turtles are going to have short, stubby little nails. Now, most people think to themselves, well, why does the male have the longer nails and the female doesn't? Well, that all breaks down to breeding season. The male will swim up to the female. He'll wiggle his fingers in her face. If she likes the way the fingernails look, she swims back with them. If not, turns around and swims the other way. And we're not going to get into that any further, okay? You guys can explain the rest. I just broke the ice, okay? All right, so we are going to take out another turtle. Now, this next turtle we're going to take out for you is also found here in your state. The turtles that you're seeing is the Florida version of these species, though. This next one will get bigger here in your state than what you're going to see, and I like to call this the mosquito of turtles. Naturally, they have one of the largest ranges here in the United States. You can find them from the Rocky Mountains all the way east to the Atlantic Ocean, and then all the way down into South Florida, called the common snapping turtle. Now, if you notice how my dad is holding the turtle, he has them by the bottom part of the shell or by the back of the shell. This is the proper way to hold this turtle. Now, the reason behind this is because they do have a neck that can stretch out about a foot in length, and their strike can be just as fast as a rattlesnake striking. So you guys want to be very careful. Now, by the show of hands, how many of you guys have ever seen a turtle cross the road before? Most of us should raise our hands. All right? Now, how many of you guys have actually stopped and helped a turtle cross the road? Definitely not as many hands, but that's okay. Now, guys, if you ever come across the common snapping turtle, once again, you never want to grab the turtle by the front part of the shell or by the head like you would your water turtles. Now, the reason behind this is because they have a neck that can stretch out about a foot in length, and if you go to do it, that's going to end up happening. And if you get in close enough, he's going to go ahead and bite you. Now, the chance of him taking a finger off, very slim, but he can bite it to the bone. All right, so very painful if you don't know what you're doing. Now, there is a specific way you can grab this turtle safely, all right? And that's by his handle, called his tail. All right, you could grab him by the tail, hold him away from you, and sit him off the road. Now, guys, I'm not saying to run a marathon holding him by the tail, all right? Just a couple minutes off of the road, and always remember, put them the direction that they are headed. If you don't, they will turn right around, come back on the road, and unfortunately probably get hit by a car. So once again, by the tail, hold them out, and get them off. Now, if you're not the type that likes to get hands-on, you're not comfortable, throw your hazards on and try to let those turtles cross the road on their own. And your box turtles, your water turtles, you can simply just grab them by the sides of the shell and carry them off. All right, so the last turtle we're going to show you is a cousin to this turtle. Now, he cannot naturally be found here in your state. If you guys find them, call your wildlife department, local zoo, bring them to them. This is North America's largest freshwater turtle. All right, this is what's called the alligator snapping turtle. Now, they can get up to about 200 pounds, and studies have shown they get up to about 200 years old. They can get that old. Now, you're looking at Bowser, all right? Bowser is about 30 pounds and around 30 years old. Now, if you guys notice how my dad's holding this snapping turtle, right by the top of the shell, right behind the neck. The common snapper, not like that. All right, you could do it a couple times to the common snapping turtle and get away with it, but you're going to end up getting bit. If you hold him like this, he will never be able to bite you unless you slip your hand out on your own because they have a short neck. Now, if you notice when that mouth's open, notice there are no teeth inside the mouth, and that's the same with all your turtles. They have a very sharp beak. If this species bit you from this size and bigger, he could take your finger off with one bite, no problem. And my dad's going to demonstrate that, okay? No, okay, I guess not. Now, guys, if you notice the back of the turtle shell, notice it mimics the back of an alligator. That's why they gave them the name the alligator snapping turtle. And you notice how high they walk? These turtles are very elusive. They like to stay in the water, never come out. They wedge under rocks, or if their water hole is drying up, they'll try to find a new home. Now, a cool thing about this species is that they'll wedge under that rock or log, and they'll go ahead and sit their mouth open. And right on the tip of their mouth, they have a little piece of skin that looks like a worm. The fish will go in and grab it, thinking it's food, and that's how this turtle hunts his food. He lets it come to him. The common snapping turtle will chase his food down and eat it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put Bowser away. Guys, let's give Bowser and my dad a big round of applause for showing you some of those cool reptiles. All right, so that was the last turtle. You guys ready to see some alligators? Yeah. All right, but we're going to start off with a smaller alligator. All right, so this alligator, it's either going to be Al or Wally, whoever is going to come out. I'm not sure which one it is, but one of these alligators, they're roughly about 2 years old. And when he comes out, you're going to notice the colorations on these alligators. They're a black to gray with yellow bands. And first thing I want you to notice, when he comes out, this alligator is not green. Alligators that are green are found in comic books and plush toys, all right? Not in reality. And this is Al, all right? Now, Al, like I said, is about a 2-year-old American alligator, and he's young. If it's a male, he could get up to about 12.5 feet. Females, you're looking at between 8 to 9 feet. All right, now, if you guys look at those bands, this is what they use for camouflage. Oh, is he waving to everybody? Yeah, Al likes to wave. Now, guys, if you notice the yellow bands, these alligators depend on these bands for camouflage. When a baby alligator hatches out of the egg, they're only about 5 to 6 inches long. They're very small. And being so small, everything will eat baby alligators. Birds, fish, turtles, snakes, and other alligators will eat the young. The only one that will not is the mother alligator. She will protect the babies with her life. Now for the sad part. Out of all 40 of those little alligators, only 1 to 2 of them will make it to be an adult. The 38 other alligators, unfortunately, get eaten by all those different type of animals. Now, once they hatch out of the egg, they will grow about 1 to 2 for the year. And then when they get about 6 feet, it slows down to 1 to 2 inches a year. And alligators will live about 80 to 100 years in captivity. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put Al away. And we're going to move to the part of the show that everyone's been waiting for. You guys ready to see alligator wrestling? Yeah. Wow, that made me want to do that. Let's try that again. You guys ready to see alligator wrestling? Yeah. All right. Now, guys, alligator wrestling is nothing like it sounds. No one is going to come out in tight spandex, okay? Sorry, ladies. No one's going to do headlocks or body slams, all right? No one's going to jump off the top rail. If that's the show you wanted to see, this is not it, all right? Alligator wrestling is a technique of going into the wild, or in this case, an enclosure, and catching up an alligator. Now, I don't know how many of you are familiar with the show Gator Boys we had on Animal Planet. We had a show that ran for 5 to 6 seasons. And a film crew followed us around, and we rescued alligators. We still do. Paul is a trapper in South Florida. I live in Ocala, Florida now, where I take the alligators in and give them a forever home. Now, this alligator is a male alligator. His name is Cujo, all right? Now, for the parents that's ever seen that movie, you'll understand here in a little bit. Now, Cujo is, like I said, a rescued alligator, roughly 8 feet and probably about 175 pounds. All right, one thing you got to realize, alligators are about 80% muscle, and I'm only about 2%, okay? So whoever laughed, you can leave the show, okay? Now, guys, what you're going to see is a hands-on technique of catching this alligator. Now, if that last song that you heard by Chief Jim Billy called Big Alligator, all right, that he is Seminole Indian. I grew up on the Seminole Reservation in Hollywood, Florida, where I got to learn the trade and culture, which is known alligator wrestling. But like I said, guys, it's a capture technique of catching the alligator. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to try to get him to come over this way. Now, guys, what you're going to see today does not hurt the alligator in any way. Puts him under a little bit of stress, but it does not hurt him. Now, you see me pulling him by the tail. This is an extension to the body, all right? But you have to be careful because he can turn all the way around and grab me as high up as the elbow. Now, that hissing, he's telling me to back off. All right, you guys heard the jaw pressure. This alligator has about 1,000 pounds of bite pressure per square inch inside of his mouth. But if you guys notice, he's not going out of his way to bite me or attack me. That's where people make them sound a lot worse than what they actually are. Now for the important part. Young lady right here with the purple hair. Right here, swinging. If he climbs the fence, can you push him back in for me? No? Will you do it? Okay, so if he climbs over, just push him in, okay? Now, guys, if he gets past them, all you have to do is run faster than the person next to you, okay? That does work as well. Now, guys, like I said, when we work these alligators, what we're doing is actually just tiring him out enough to be able to catch him with our bare hands, which in reality is a lot better on the alligator because we're not using any ropes, tools, anything like that. Now, sometimes we do have to use ropes, but on these type of shows, we do not. Now, anybody familiar with the show Gator Boys, you'll see us catch these alligators, and we do it in about 15 seconds. We call that editing, okay? That is not in reality. Now, guys, we're going to pull him out real gentle, get him out on land, so you guys can see him a little bit better, real soft and gentle, just like that, and we're going to pull him to the middle. All right. Now, guys, what we're going to demonstrate for you is how the mouth works. One more time. We're going to see if he'll turn a little bit this way so we can get everybody on the other side to see. All right, here we go. Now, guys, the mouth of an alligator works like a rat trap. You saw me use the marker earlier. Now, say something went into the mouth and didn't touch. All right, the jaws normally wouldn't shut. All right, so we're going to demonstrate this for you. Just like that. Woo! All right, I got all 5. Guys, let's give the alligator a big round of applause. All right? Now, guys, like I said, it's about 1,000 pounds of bite pressure inside of that mouth. Now, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to turn him around, and we're going to go to catch this alligator. And, guys, once we catch him, you're going to notice, once I get on top of him, I place all the weight on my knees and not directly onto the alligator. Once I get him under control. Just like that, guys. And what you just saw was called the quick catch, catching the alligator. All right, guys, you can clap. The alligator appreciates it. He's the main star of the show. All right, and we aren't able to do what we do and spread the message without doing shows like this. Unfortunately, we have found that if the animal doesn't have fur, most people don't care about it, all right? So snakes, crocodilians, we try to get a hands-on method so everyone can appreciate them a little bit more. All right, now guys, the most famous thing done in alligator wrestling is what's known as the Florida Smile. This is done by the alligator, showing you approximately 80 teeth. And I'm going to go ahead and open up the mouth of the alligator. Now, they will go through about 3,000 teeth in their lifetime. All right, they never run out of teeth. And they're shaped like cones. So when a tooth falls out, another one is already growing in place of it. And if you look in back of the mouth, there appears like there's no opening. That is what you call the glottis. This enables him to catch food underwater without drowning. Then he comes above water to swallow that food. All right. Now, guys, I am going to do one more stunt for you, but this is depending if you guys want to see it. You guys want to see one more crazy stunt? Yeah. All right. I know that one person does. All right. We're going to try that again. You guys ready to see one more crazy stunt? Yeah. All right, guys. Now, this last stunt you're going to see is what we call bulldogging. We're going to hold the mouth closed with nothing but my chin and chest. Now, this was designed by a lone Seminole warrior that would go out to the Everglades, catch an alligator, then he would have to tie the mouth up. Well, how do you do that by yourself with no help? Well, they came up with a way by pinning the mouth between the chin and chest, freeing their hands long enough to take leather or rope and tie a knot. We're not going to tie a knot, guys, but I am going to demonstrate tying the knot. All right? Take your pictures when both arms go out to the side. I'm only going to hold this for a few seconds. They always tell me if I feel the teeth on my throat, I'm doing it right. As I demonstrate a knot, just like that, we would have a caught and tied alligator all by myself, guys. Let's give this alligator another big round of applause. All right, guys. Well, we want to thank everyone for coming out to the North Carolina Mountain State Fair. It's been a great fair. Today's the last day. We do have one more show at 7 o'clock, so check it out. We will have a merchandise table to the right. We are out of adult shirts, but we do have a ton of kids stuff. All that money goes back into the program for the alligators that we have and other animals. Once again, guys, I will be out to take pictures. If you want to do that, check out the rest of the shows and all the food vendors. Thank you all for coming out and have a great time here at the North Carolina Mountain State Fair. Thank you.